For years now, there's been talk about building an interstate that would help commercial traffic travel up and down Arizona from Nogales to Nevada. Now the public has something to see. The Arizona Department of Transportation released an environmental impact statement about the route it's recommending for a new corridor spanning 280 miles from Nogales to Wickenburg. ADOT hosted public hearings this past week to get input. We heard from some attendees at an event in Tucson.
Route and an unimpeded route.
I'm interested to hear what people have to say for and against. I created a petition 6 years ago that has garnered over 1,500 signatures opposing I-11 in the Outer Valley. All the opposition is being ignored. They're required to take our comments, but they're not required to follow them.
Roads have such a farther impact than just their footprint. There's been studies about 3 miles on each direction about all the impacts that they cause. So there's direct impacts in these protected areas. And that's our biggest concern, is that all these areas, all the work that many people have been doing over the last decades to preserve lands and to keep healthy wildlife populations is just going to be destroyed. That's a big problem.
And there's a high chance that a number of other groups which are opposing this route who are here today will get into litigation, extended litigation on this project.
Right, because they did the projections out of what's called the Canamex corridor.
We volunteer at the national park, and I already tell people, they want to go hiking.
Most of the people tonight are opposed. I don't think I've had anyone who's been in favor of the project this evening. Maybe one or two that were just kind of getting information.
I'm a member of a couple of car clubs, and we do a lot of cruising, so we're always evaluating the roads. It's a safety thing in my mind, and I'm glad that we're looking at a large section, not just a little short 30-mile fix. This is 280 miles worth of planning.
ADOT is accepting feedback on the plan online through July 8th. Details are available on our website. As for some of the concerns raised so far, we discussed that with ADOT's I-11 study manager, Jay Van Echo. Our conversation picks up with the plan's projected costs.
We have several options, and they are anywhere between $3.5 and $7 billion. Now, recognize this is a 280-mile corridor of an interstate. It will not be built all at once. It will be built in implementable pieces. So there will never be a $7 billion project. It will be kind of built in small pieces as the monies become available through local governments.
Has the money been allocated yet?
As of right now, absolutely no money has been allocated for this, not at the local level, not at the state level, nor at the federal level. Our State Transportation Board, who I work for, Arizona Department of Transportation, identified this very early monies to do this draft Tier 1 environmental impact statement. But after that, there are no monies for future environmental studies or planning studies at this time.
Saguaro National Park, Arizona Game and Fish have all expressed concerns about wildlife and the environment. What sorts of things might ADOT be doing right now to minimize that impact?
Again, a good question. The National Park Service and Arizona Game and Fish are both cooperating agencies with us, so they are working day in and day out on this project with Federal Highway Administration and the Arizona Department of Transportation. They have big concerns, as we do too, in terms of noise, air quality, habitat connectivity. Those of us who have visited Saguaro National Park, and I got married over there some 40 years ago, want to make sure the experience for the park visitor continues. At the Arizona Department of Transportation, we realize that a corridor has consequences, but what we're looking at the opportunities and constraints and to best meet the needs and work with the Park Service and Arizona Game and Fish so that we can coexist with the park, coexist with the habitat and the connectivity and their traveling patterns.
We have heard so far people say, why not expand existing roadways like I-10? Is that something that you are considering as well?
I-10 is an I-19, and expanding the existing facilities is always an option. In the draft environmental impact statement that we are having public hearings this week, has widening the existing facilities as an option. There are environmental consequences to that also. Continuing to widen I-10 through Tucson has impacts to historic districts, historic neighborhoods, parks like the Ori Park, the Santa Cruz River Park. So there are different environmental constraints that you would have in an urban area versus the environmental constraints we have with a route in Avra Valley on the other side of the Tucson mountains.
There are property owners in Avra Valley and in Buckeye who are worried about their existing homes. At this point, any of those properties threatened?
Now, I want to assure everybody now that our corridor is not looking at identifying or taking any private properties or businesses. At this very early Draft 1, Tier 1 study, we are looking at a 2,000-foot wide corridor. That's approximately a half a mile wide. We at the DOT, Department of Transportation, we don't build a half-mile wide freeway. It's normally between 300 and 400 feet. So that 2,000-foot corridor, while scary when you look at a map, it's just to identify a 2,000-foot study area that we can come back in a Tier 2 analysis, a Tier 2 environmental study, and get more quantitative in our environmental and technical analysis. And then we can look at the individual properties, businesses, land ownership, and see where a 200, 300, or 400-foot corridor might fit within that 2,000 foot to lessen the impacts on private development.
I know there's no projected timeline of when this would actually come to fruition. Projects like this one can certainly change the landscape, and ADOT is working very closely with communities to hear their concerns. How much, though, does the agency really listen to those concerns when they make their final decision?
Oh my gosh, a lot. The public input that we're having during this hearing stage is vital. It's part of the process. The 1969 National Environmental Policy Act, of which we're following, was set up for this very reason. We are in a very early stage. It's called a draft environmental impact statement. We put this out to the public, to the local governments like Pima County, City of Tucson, Town of Marana. We also go to our tribal partners, the Tohono O'odham Nation, the Santa Vera District of the Teal Nation. And we ask for comment. That is the purpose of why we're here. And every single comment will be addressed in the final environmental impact statement. And each comment, be it from a tribal nation, be it from a local government, be it from a person in Avra Valley or the City of Tucson, are all weighed equally, which is very important in the National Environmental Policy Act.
All right, Jay Van Eckoe, Project Manager for ADOT. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.